when your legs don't work like they used to before, and I can't sweep you off of your feet. Will your mouth still remember the taste of my love? Will your eyes still smile from your cheeks? Well, darling, I will be loving you till we're 70. And baby, my heart will still fall as hard at 23. Thinking about how people fall in love in mysterious ways. Maybe just the touch of a hand. Me, I fall in love with you every single day. I just wanna tell you I am. So honey now. Okay. Anyway. I hate how I sing that song. Can't sing it. But I think it's time for you to learn some new chords so that you don't get bored practicing the same thing all over and over again. So we'll go into a number of new chords that you can use and maybe learn Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, since I was thinking about the number 70 years old anyway today, so I thought about this song. Okay, so for this song, we'll need to learn a few more chords, quite a bit more, but you know that you have your handout, so when you're practicing and you can't remember what the chords are, you can just look at them. I'll show you how to play them here. And also, even though there's a lot of them are just variations of each other, so it's not really that hard if you think about it. So let's start with D major, or D for short. So for D, you don't play the last two strings, the 5 and 6. So you start from the 4th string or the 4th string down to the 1, and to play that, the 4th string is just open. Your first finger will be on the 2nd fret of the 3rd string. Your 3rd finger will be on the 3rd fret of the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So first finger on 2nd fret of 3rd string, 3rd finger on 3rd fret of 2nd string, and your 2nd finger will be on the 2nd fret of the 1st string. So all in all, right? Open, 2nd fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret. Okay? And that's your D or D major chord. Right? So you can practice that. That's one of the easier chords to play, actually. So that's not a bad deal, right? It's such a common chord, but it's very easy to play. Okay, so next we have, let me see, A major. So last time we learned the A minor. Now we're gonna be learning the A major chord. So there are a number of ways to play this, but in all of the forms of this basic open form, you won't be playing the 6th string. So it's the 5th string all the way down. The 5th string on the A major is open. Okay, and then the next 3 middle strings, the 4, the 3rd, and the 2nd string, all have the 2nd fret. Okay, the last string is open. So for these 3 major strings, you can choose however you want to play it. So all of them are the 2nd fret, as I mentioned. So one way to play it would be just first finger, 2nd finger, and 3rd finger for those 3 middle strings, and the 5 and the 1 are both open. Okay, that's one way to play it. Another way to play it would be starting from the 2nd finger instead, on the fourth string, and then the third finger, and then the fourth finger. So that's another way to play your A major chord, playing the same notes, just using a different finger. So that is your A major. All right. Couple of variations on that that will come into the song, or it's not really a variation. It's called an extension. That Ed Sheeran uses in this song is the A dominant seventh. Again, that's on your handout. Most of the time when people write out chords to a song, they don't actually use the word dominant. So when you see an A and 7 beside that A, that means an A dominant seventh. And you play that, basically, the only difference with an A is that the middle, the third string is now open. That is now open. So in the A major, all the strings you're pressing are on the second fret. For the A dominant seventh or the A seventh, you're just removing one string, one of those fingers, and making an open string on the third. Okay, easiest way to play that would be, again, open fifth string, second finger on the second fret of the fourth string, open on the third, and then your third finger on the second fret of the second string, and then open on the first string. So that's your A dominant seventh. Okay. Then next chord is an E minor chord. Okay, and that's a very easy chord to play. You're playing all the strings on an E minor chord, and you're just pressing the second fret of the fifth and the fourth strings. The way I play it and the way a lot of people play E minor would be using the second finger on the second fret of the fifth string and your third finger on the second fret of the fourth string. And that's your E minor. You play everything. Okay? E minor. And an extension of that E minor would be an E minor seventh chord. Now, I don't think E minor seventh is on your handout. In fact, I don't think A dominant seventh is on your handout, but it will. I can explain later on how you can derive it from those positions that I showed on the handout. Anyway, I'll show you how to play an E minor 7 here, and it's very easy. So if that's your E minor chord, all you need to do to get an E minor 7th is to remove your third finger and play that open fourth string. So in essence, you're only pressing one note and everything else is open. Okay, that is E minor 7th. And one last, and this is on your handout, the B minor. Okay, B minor is bar your first finger on the first 5 strings of the second fret. Okay, so it's barred on those first 5 strings. So you're not playing the 6th string, that's muted. And then your fourth finger will be on the 4th fret. Oh, I'm sorry, your third finger will be on the 4th fret of the 4th string. Your fourth finger will be on the 4th fret of the 3rd string. And your second finger will be on the 3rd fret of the 2nd string. So again, so your first finger is barred on the 2nd fret, and now you can that goes for 2nd fret. So starting from the 5th string down, 2nd fret, 4th fret, 4th fret, 3rd fret, 2nd fret. That's your B minor. Okay, so that's pretty much all the chords you will need, basically, for thinking out loud. One last thing before I proceed to show you how to play it in the next video is something that will come in useful for this particular song. It's what we call the rhythm grid. And on your handout, I wrote that down in pencil. What that basically says is that is when you listen to the beat of a song. So a song typically has a beat like dam, dam, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it just keeps going out 1, 2, 3, 4 to keep the tempo of the song, right? And in those 4 beats, the one round of those 4 beats is typically called a bar or a measure, or that's how it's called in music. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. But in between those beats, you could subdivide those beats. So exactly in between each of those beats, we call those upbeats, and we label them with end. So when we're counting out, you can go either 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then with the subdivisions, with the upbeats, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So your notes don't always have to fall on the beat, on the downbeats, the numbered beats. They can fall on the upbeats. Or we can further subdivide between the downbeat and the upbeat. There are what's called 16th notes. We don't have to go yet into why they're called 16th notes, but so 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. You can further subdivide that 3 and 4, 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4E and the 1E and the 2E and the 3E and the 4. So any of your notes can fall in any of those subdivisions of the 4 beats within a bar of music or a measure of music. And maybe that's where I'll end, and then in the next video we'll start to talk about how to play Thinking Out Loud.